Deep in the digital world, there's a whole new kind of detective at work. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on their world and the incredible discipline they use called open source intelligence. So yeah, let's dive right in. But first, a little challenge for you. Let's say you see this photo pop up online. How would you actually prove where it was really taken using only information that's out there for anyone to find? It's a heck of a puzzle, right? And being able to solve it, well, that's kind of like having a real-world superpower. And what's so wild is that the answer is almost always out there somewhere, just hiding in plain sight. And the skills you need to find it, it's not just some niche hobby. It's a full-blown professional discipline that actually shapes national security, journalism, you name it. And that discipline is called open source intelligence, or OSINT for short. It's basically the art of taking all that publicly available data and turning it into something truly useful, what they call actionable intelligence. And it is becoming absolutely crucial. In fact, right now, it's considered the first line of effort for intelligence agencies, for corporations trying to manage risk, and for investigative reporters on the front lines. So, how do they actually do it? Well, professional OSINT isn't just, randomly Googling stuff for hours. No way. It's a structured, repeatable process. It's a system designed to get you clear answers and to help you avoid what experts call information drowning, that feeling of being totally overwhelmed. It's all built around a framework called the intelligence cycle. This 5-step cycle is pretty much the core blueprint. It all starts with direction, which just means knowing the exact question you're trying to answer. Then you move into collection, where you're gathering all that raw data. After that is processing. You got to organize the mess. Then comes the real magic, analysis, where you connect the dots and figure out what it all means. And finally, dissemination, which is just a fancy way of saying you present your findings so someone can actually use them. And I've got to tell you, that first step, direction, it's everything. A pro doesn't start with some vague goal like, find info on this hacker. That's way too broad. They start with a laser-focused, answerable question. Something like, identify the physical location of the server that's hosting this specific phishing site. See the difference? That level of focus changes the entire game. Okay, so once you've got your direction, where do you even start looking? Well, investigators don't see the internet as just one big thing. They see it in layers, and each layer needs its own special techniques and its own set of tools to unlock. First up, you've got SOCMINT, that's social media intelligence, digging into networks, connections, even deleted posts. Then there's GeoInt, which is all about using satellite photos and street view imagery to pinpoint a location. You've also got TechInt, which is like looking at the internet's plumbing, stuff like DNS records that connect a domain name to a server. And there's even a newer field called ADINT, where you analyze advertising data to find hidden patterns. It's wild. And the toolkit these days? Whoa. It is mind-blowing. You've got tools like Maltego that create these incredible visual maps showing you how different people and companies are all connected. And then there's Shodan, which people call the Google for devices. It can find things like unsecured webcams, home routers, even the control systems for power plants that are connected to the internet. It's a huge, powerful ecosystem of tools. Now, having all these powerful tools brings us to a really critical rule. The investigator has to become a ghost. You absolutely have to hide your own tracks, because the second your target knows you're looking for them, the game is over. This whole practice is called operational security, or OPSEC. Let me be really clear. A real investigation is never done from a personal browser. Professionals use disposable sock puppet accounts, they work inside isolated virtual computers to keep their own machine safe, and they hide their location by layering their internet connection through multiple VPNs. It's all about making sure your target can't turn around and start hunting the hunter. This, of course, raises a really important question. What are the rules here? I mean, just because information is open doesn't mean it's a free-for-all. OSINT is guided by some very strict ethical and legal lines that separate a professional investigator from a criminal. And that line, it's actually crystal clear. There's a great way to think about it called the password prompt rule. OSINT is all about analyzing data that is publicly accessible. The moment you have to bypass a password, exploit a software bug, or get into private data you know you're not supposed to see, you have crossed the line from legal OSINT into illegal hacking. Period. It's that simple. So where is this all headed? As we look at the landscape today, the single biggest game changer in open source intelligence is without a doubt artificial intelligence. It is completely transforming the scale and the speed of what's even possible. To really get a sense of the impact,
You just have to look at the scale. A human analyst, as smart as they are, can only process so much information in a day. But an AI, like a large language model, it can process a truly massive volume of data in comparison. We're talking summarizing thousands of articles, reports, and forum posts in just a few seconds. And these new AI capabilities are being used in some pretty incredible ways. They can do visual recognition, right? Helping to geolocate a grainy photo just from a tiny landmark in the background. They can also do what's called sentiment analysis, which means they can track global moods online or even spot the very beginnings of a new disinformation campaign. So there you have it. We've talked about what OSINT is, the professional cycle they use, the tools of the trade, the ethical lines, and what the future holds. You now have the blueprint of the modern digital detective. So the only question left is, with all those answers hiding out there in plain sight, what could you discover?